Okay, so I'm gonna... I guess the order of this video is going to be backwards, probably from what I had originally planned. Started with the item that's actually this video is mainly going to be about, and ended on the one I really hadn't even planned on playing with. So, for the course, I had said I wanted to get a red Pitaya little development board kit to see if it would work, if I thought it was suitable as an oscilloscope and a signal generator. Now it does a gazillion other things too, and you can get other little add-on modules. And I got lucky. Red Pitaya, STEM Labs, they stepped up to the plate and they sent me everything for free. They sent me the Red Pitaya Ultimate Kit, which has the LCR module and the logic analyzer modules as well. And to my surprise, they also included, that's the actual Red Pitaya module on top, but the silver box underneath of it is actually a 6 through 160 meter SDR transceiver. So, yeah, I was not expecting to get that, and just playing around with it for a very brief period of time, this is my absolute first experience with an SDR radio. I've got more amateur radios than probably any person alive should have, but I have never played with an SDR radio, and I really like it. It's amazing what you can do with this thing. Now I've got it running off of the Power SDR program, and I'll probably do a whole separate review video on that, but I did want to show it. They included that with it. And before anybody asks, yes, it is a transceiver, so it receives and it transmits. It's an amateur radio, basically. Now, the question I know a lot of people, because a lot of people that watch my channel, they're into CB radios. Will it work on CB? Yes, it will receive. No, it will not transmit. So it does not transmit out of band. It's set up to transmit only on the amateur bands, and that's it. So, like right now, I'm in the shortwave, 49 meter shortwave range right now. It will not transmit there. Actually, I can even try. Yeah. There's a combination, blah, blah, blah. You're not allowed band specifications for this region. So, can't transmit. So, question answered. Don't bother getting one if you plan on transmitting on CB. It ain't going to work. Now, can you listen to CB radio? Yes, you can listen to anything within that band, within the full spectrum of this thing, and it covers pretty much all modes, and you can even do special modes. You got to remember, this is a development board. Most all of this stuff is open source. It's kind of a partnership of just people getting together and making stuff up for the world to use, basically. But yeah, I mean, this covers all modes: lower sideband, upper sideband, double sideband, CW lower, upper, FM, AM, SAM. You can set special stuff. There's digital modes. You can set your audio bandwidth. There's 20 kilohertz, 5 kilohertz. You can narrow the bandwidth down on this thing down to, I think, 20. Yeah, there's 20 hertz, 10 hertz positive, 10 hertz negative. Yeah, just yeah, you can really play around with that. Adjustable AGCs. I mean, there's just pages and pages of stuff you can do with this. There's phasing control if you happen to have two antennas hooked up to it, so you phase your antennas. Yeah. Some of these things are going to say no, because depending the mode I'm in. You can set this thing up to have either a 3-band or 10-band graphic equalizers in receive, and separate equalizers for receive and transmit. So for like your transmit audio, you've got to tell you can turn on a 10-band equalizer and tune until your heart is content. Yeah, and then you get into the menus. There's just so much stuff you can play with in here. Filtering. Yeah, I mean, just the amount of stuff you can play with on filtering. Your transmit, PA settings, appearance, keyboard. You can really customize this thing. It's just wow. So I just really wanted to quick show this. Like I say, I'll probably do a separate review video. Not going to take the covers off and show you. It's just wanted to show it. They did send that along with it. So let me get that disconnected, and we'll get up what mainly we're concerned about, the Red Pitaya itself. Basically the basic module, and I'll show some of the other stuff they sent. So give me a few minutes here to get some stuff disconnected and some other stuff hooked up. Okay, so everything that they actually sent me was, like I say, the Ultimate Kit and the 6 through 10 meter 10 watt SDR transceiver. So the everything else in the Ultimate Kit is basically everything that they make or to use it as an instrument. So that includes the, now you can get this kit, you know, if you do decide, because I am going to recommend this, I think this little product will work perfectly fine for this electronics course. The two requirements I needed was for it to be, you know, the two instruments that I was most interested in it being able to do was an oscilloscope and a signal generator. It'll do both of those just perfectly fine. Now, if you get, like I say, they have them in different kits. So you can get the basic kit, the advanced kit, or in the case of this one, this was the Ultimate Kit. Now, if you get like the basic kit, it doesn't come with the fancy aluminum boxes. It's just the board, and then it comes with a clear plastic housing. You can buy those separately afterwards if you decide you want the nice little high-speed die-cast metal box with the little flaming golf ball with eyeballs, which I kind of think is what these look like, a flaming golf ball with eyes. But kind of a cute little logo. But you can get those housings separate. But the basic kit's basically what you're going to need if you want to use it for this course. We don't need it, all of the other advanced options that you can get. Would it be nice to have? Yes. Will we use those in the future? Possibly. Depends how far this course goes. Like I say, the initial courses, there's going to be 4 sections, DC, AC, analog, and digital. Eventually, I'd like to do, you know, the RF course, and then possibly one after that on microcontrollers, you know, microprocessors. Now, that's something that I'm just personally delving into. It's been years and years and years since I even fiddled with, you know, development boards and whatnot. So all of this is new to me. And it's honestly, I've had this thing for a while, for a couple weeks, and I was kind of hesitant to use it for fear of, it's going to be a pain in the butt, because I don't want to say I'm one of those anti-internet people nowadays, because obviously you're looking at a video that I posted on the internet, but I am kind of an anti-internet person. I think it's the downfall of mankind. A lot of the problems we have nowadays is the anonymity of being online with stuff like Facebook and Twitter, and, you know, people ask me, what's your Facebook account? Don't have one. Twitter, don't do it. And I'm never going to. You will never ever see me do any of those social networks, any of that stuff. I post videos on YouTube, I order parts, and I download service manuals. That's pretty much the extent of my footprint online nowadays. That's it. I don't do anything else. I don't waste my time. But, so, you know, I honestly don't use computers that much anymore. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do, but I'm using it just the basics that I need to do with my cell phone and a tablet nowadays. I can go a month without ever even touching a computer. I just recently, not too many months ago, bought this one because my last computer was over 10 years old, which in computer terminology means dinosaur. It was running Windows XP. And I wanted to get a new one because for doing this course, I'm actually going to need to be doing stuff, you know, on computers, a website and whatnot. But, yes, I was kind of hesitant to get this out. No, what am I going to run into, problems and whatnot? If I had known it was going to be as simple as it was, I'd have popped the computer out and hooked this thing up the instant I received it, because, wow, was it ever simple. So for starters, if you go to, they had little pieces of paper in most of the products they had. Get it to focus there. Focus. There we go. It was Red Pitaya. You go www.redpitaya.com/STEM, because it's STEM Labs. And then /quick-start. And it takes you to the manual, so, you know, if you want to look at what you need to set this up and whatnot. It's a very simple process. Basically, turn your computer on. Now, there's different ways of setting this up. I have it hooked up. You'll see there's a red Ethernet cable coming out there, and it goes in over there into the side of the computer. So I have it hooked up hardline style. They did include somewhere around here. There it is. Here's a little Wi-Fi dongle. So a little Wi-Fi antenna I can hook up, and that plugs right into the Red Pitaya. And then you can connect wirelessly. Now, I can't do that at this instant because I've just today, first time I fired this thing up. I have not, what I need to do is actually hook the red Pitaya up directly to the network, basically, to my router, and then I need to authorize it for the wireless use on the network. Once I've done that, then I can just, from then on, I would be able to use the computer, a tablet, a cell phone, whatever else I want, and just plug the little Wi-Fi adapter into the USB port on the red Pitaya, and we'd be good wirelessly. And I'll do that eventually, get that. I just wanted to get this to show that I got it, it works, and yes, it looks like this will be a perfect product for this course. Now, one thing that it does that we're not going to really need in the course eventually when we get to do the, if the course is popular enough and I get good feedback and I eventually do end up in a year or two, however long it takes to do this course, when I get to the, at the end of the regular basics course, and if I do the RF course, then we'll be, it'd be nice, really, really nice to have a spectrum analyzer. That little thing also does that too, and that's actually what's on the screen right there. So actually, the signal that little blip, that peak you see right there, is actually coming out of the Roden Schwartz communications test set right there. I'm sending out a, what is that, a 27.205 megahertz carrier at the moment at minus 35 dBm. It's going into input 2 on the red Pitaya module, and there it is. I've got the span set to, 10 megahertz. Yeah, starts 20 megahertz, stop is 30 megahertz. So it works. And you saw the SDR radio, it has the waterfall display. Well, they use basically the same exact thing on the spectrum analyzer as well. You can see down here, there's a waterfall display down here. Get my hand out of the way, it just went out of focus. It's so hard to get this camera. It doesn't like bright things, so it really doesn't like my computer monitor. And I got the camera a little crooked. It's still half blinding my camera. But there's actually a second bar there, so you can actually use that red Pitaya module as a 2-channel spectrum analyzer. So you can have 2 separate signals going in on 2 different lines and view both of them on the screen at the same time. You can also use this, which I'll do next. You can use it as a 2-channel oscilloscope and a 2-signal generator, a 2-channel signal generator simultaneously. So you can be viewing 2 signals and sending 2 signals out of that module at the same time. I just thought I'd show the spectrum analyzer really quick. So, yep, it does work, looks fine. Now, it's kind of coarse. It is never going to replace something like what's sitting back there, a true spectrum analyzer, or, something like that up there. It costs, God, probably 10 to, hell, more than that. Somewhere between 10 and 100, I don't know. I have to do the math in my head. But a boatload more. The Roden Schwartz, that is a laboratory instrument. The Rigel Spectrum Analyzer, not that it's a toy, but it's not a laboratory, I wouldn't consider that laboratory-grade equipment, but it's definitely also not a play toy. I wouldn't say the red Pitaya is a play toy, but it's definitely not on the bar with a real standalone, actually anything, scope, signal generator, spectrum analyzer. It's going to have its limitations, but for what we want, it's perfectly fine. It's going to do everything we need. And like I say, the spectrum analyzer actually works fine. It looks like a normal spectrum analyzer display. So let me pause the video, get the communications test set up there turned off, and actually I'll just leave this screen up and show you. Actually, if we go back, blink, there's the home screen. So yeah, when you actually turn this thing on, what you do is, to get this to work the way I have it with the hard line, turn on your computer, bring up your web browser, power up the red Pitaya module with the included 5-volt 2-amp power supply. It's a little mini USB cord that plugs into it. So it comes with the power cord, or little wall wart to run that off of. Then you connect a Ethernet, if you do it the way I have it here, hard line between that and the computer, you just hook your Ethernet cable up to the computer. On your web browser, actually before, because when I got that was not actually installed in that, they included the, that comes with the Ultimate Kit, the little aluminum cases, but it wasn't actually in it. I had to install it into there. On the Ethernet jack, on the inside of that module. So like I say, if you get one of these and you get the little fancy box, before you put it in the fancy box, make sure you write down the numbers that are on the actual Ethernet jack on the inside. That's where they put like a little serial number sticker for that module. It's actually, they stick it onto the Ethernet jack. And what you need is, it's an address. So it'll be RP, period, and then 6 digits. And then period, local, .local/. That's actually what you're going to type, like on mine. That number right there is actually what was on that sticker. And then just hit enter, and boink, there you are. Little flaming eyeball, little flaming golf ball with eyes comes up on the screen. So let me pause it real quick, get that other stuff disconnected. What I'm going to do is then I'll have that hooked up. I'm going to run the output of one of the signal generators right back into the input of one of the inputs, and we'll use it as an oscilloscope. So give me a second here again. Okay, so actually what I have on the screen right now is 2 traces. The red trace is actually the output from output number 2 on the red Pitaya module, and then the green trace is the input on input 2 for the oscilloscope. So you can actually have 4 traces on this screen, because if you turned on both of the outputs and both of the inputs, you could actually have 4 traces on there. Yeah, you can see nice stable sine wave. I'm actually putting in, what am I putting in? Let's see, output, I'm putting in, 100,000 hertz at the moment, at like 0.9 volts. And yeah, the display looks nice. It's going to be perfect. Yeah, it's a again, it is a basic, simple instrument, but it does the basics that we need. You're going to need for the course. In the future, it's one of those things this thing does so many things, though. Like I say, especially if you get accessory modules, and people are always coming up with new platforms and programs you can use with this thing. There's a lot of potential for this little module. But as a test instrument, like I say, it's not a lab instrument, but it should be great for this course. Like I say, the basic kit is really all you're going to need. And I'm not telling you have to buy that for this course. You can use whatever you want. I was just trying to find something relatively cheap that's relatively easily available to anybody, anywhere on the planet, because this is YouTube. So Lord knows where someone might be that's actually going to be taking this course. This module was shipped to me directly from Slovenia. So for all I know, there might be somebody in Slovenia that's going to take my electronics course. They could drive down the road and get one of these, but now where can you get these? Anywhere. Occasionally I see them on eBay, but if you go to like DigiKey, Newark, Element 14, all the big electronics suppliers have them. One website was, Circuit Specialist. So I think it's like www.circuitspecialist.com. Actually, let me just look that up. I've got that bookmarked on my tablet, and we'll take a look. Hold on just a sec. Okay, so, and we just went out of focus. Hocus pocus, focus. We're going to focus? Oh, good God, what did I do to the camera? Hold on a second. Now I clicked it off autofocus. Will it focus now? There we go. So if you go to circuitspecialist.com, and actually, now I have no affiliation with any company, so other than I do warranty work for President, but President Electronics, CB radios. But other than that, I have no affiliation with any company. So if you see me recommending a product or a website to go to, I'm not affiliated with any of them. Like I say, STEM Labs with the red Pitaya, they were nice enough to send that to me for free. But for people that want to get that little thing, I did find Circuit Specialist has very good pricing on not just the red Pitaya module, but they're like an electronics kitting company, and they sell tools and equipment basically for kind of what I'm going to be doing, an electronics course. So they sell fairly cheap. I mean, don't get me wrong, they sell some good stuff, but a lot of their stuff is fair. You can see there's a Handtech scope, not the best scope on the planet, but a lot better, than having nothing. But yeah, they sell a lot of reasonably priced stuff. So like power supplies, I'm going to recommend you look here. If you want to get a brand new one, check Circuit Specialist. They have some very simple and basic stuff. But one of the things they have are the red Pitaya, and they are in, breadboard and design aids? I gotta remember. Nope. Yes, they sell breadboards, so there's another thing. You're going to be needing a solderless breadboard, actually, something like that for the course, which we'll get into when I actually... Ooh, I didn't want to click on that. Go back. But, like I say, when the course actually starts, I'll get into exactly what... Oh, where was it? I don't think it was DAC. Nope, didn't think so. Oh, I know they're on this blasted printed circuit board fabric, electronic parts and supplies. Maybe electronic parts and supplies, possibly? Ah, there, I think it's, yeah, so under... Oh, go away, screen. Jesus, I hate that. Electronic parts and supplies, and then you go to electronic kits and development projects. There we go. And we have STEM Lab, Red Pitaya. So, now this module that they sent me is the 14-bit version, the ultimate kit, so you can see it's $658.99. Oh my god, go away, thing. But the basic kit, which is all you're really going to need for the course, that'll get you, the scope, because the module itself is a scope, the signal generator, spectrum analyzer, but when you buy the basic kit, it also includes the scope probes, the wall wart, the power supply. It does come with the clear box, not the, actually, click on it, see if they have a bigger picture there. It doesn't enlarge, though. Oh my god, I don't want that, whatever that is. Jesus, go away. But yeah, it comes with the scope probes, the wall, and another thing with the wall wart. So pretty much I think they got you covered no matter what country you're in, because the wall wart comes with the adapters for all the funky plugs used all over the planet. So, but yeah, it's $246.59, and right now they have 37 of them in stock. Probably as soon as this video goes live, they'll all disappear. But yeah, that's really all you're going to need for this course. Now, if you want to get one of the other kits, hey, that's up to you. You can get the one that has, what's the difference here? 2-channel scope, SigGen. Oh my god, I think it's going to get annoying seeing that thing. Okay, this one has the logic analyzer, and then the ultimate kit, like they sent me, has the logic analyzer and the LCR module. So it has, when you get the ultimate kit, it comes with this LCR extension as well. And like I say, you can see the prices there, but like I say, I'm not telling you to buy them here, shop around. But when I just did some quick internet searching a while ago when I was looking at these things, this is the company I was going to buy it from, because at the time, this was the best price I could find. So, like I say, they also have other stuff, so, power supplies, you can go in, they got all kinds of, cheaper, programmable power supplies. There's one around $100. There's a 32-volt, 5-amp program. God, quit it with the pushing it. Actually, I think I have cookies disabled on my tablet. That's why that probably keeps popping up. But, back up here. I want bench. No, I want bench. Come on, load page. Yeah, I wanted that one. Yeah, 83, actually, that one's out of stock. $84, $129. There's one for $49. Now, again, this isn't what I would consider laboratory-grade equipment, but for the course, it would be just, stuff like that would be just fine. If you can find, if you can find a triple output power supply for the course, and I'm going to cover this in detail when I get the course started, with a detailed list of requirements for the actual, power supply. But a triple output power supply is always nice to have. Usually what a triple output power supply will have is 2 completely independent power supplies that are adjustable for current and voltage limits. But it also has a third power supply, just like that one you can see there, plus 5 volts, and it'll be at how many ever amps. And it doesn't need to be a fancy new modern digital one. It can be an old Heath or Heathkit style from the 1970s. As long as it works, so, get out there and search eBay. But yeah, it doesn't need to be a fancy one. Yeah, even here, like what is that? I think that's an Elenco there. That's I think that's 3 fully regulated supplies. $72 actually. What do we got? 1 to 15. It's got a positive, a negative. Yeah, actually, that one there will do everything we need. It's not current limited, but we can live without that for the course. Actually, it meets the basic specs. So yeah, there's 15 volts, positive, up to 15 volts minus at 1 amp, and it has a fixed 5 volt supply at 3 amps. But yeah, check this company, and then don't just think, decide that, oh, that's Mike said I gotta buy it from them. No, search online. You may be able to find a better price. Like I say, this is just stuff I've run across. I don't need any of this myself. I've got laboratory, I've already got a fully stocked benches, actually. So, I'm just trying to find some stuff cheap that the average person can afford, that maybe on a limited budget, because I don't know, the financial resources of people that are going to be taking this course. So there's that. Get the camera up away from the keyboard now. Turn on my light here. So other stuff that was included, like I say, it came with the, oh, come on, camera mount, cooperate. Now it does have a, actually it's in the, where is it? Oh, it's right there. There's a little tiny SD card in there. There's a 4 gigabyte SD card in there. It has software on it. So with the kit, they also include a little adapter, because most computers can't take the cards that are that small, but they can take the full-size ones. So it comes with the little adapter where you slide a little micro SD card into that. And come on, get back in the box there, little guy. Like I say, it came with the Wi-Fi antenna. Now, when you put the STEM Lab mod, or you put the Red Pitaya module in one of these metal boxes, you actually take the heatsink that's on the processor off, and then it's just not used anymore. But yeah, there's the scope probe accessories, and the scope probes. And actually, these are, actually, I'd say these are actually better than like my Rigel oscilloscope over there. I think these are actually a little bit more flexible. The tips and the ends, about the same quality, but the cables are actually more flexible. I actually like these cables. Nice. Usually cheap scope probes are usually stiff as, it's like a piece of 10 gauge wire. Some of those things are so blasted stiff. These are actually nice and pliable. So whoever they're getting their scope probes from, it actually looks like they looked around a little bit and didn't get the cheapest thing on the planet. They actually got some at least halfway decent ones. So yeah, it comes with the scope probes. Now this kit, like I said, also included the logic analyzer, which just boink plops. You can see there's 2 holes in the top of this, so you still gain access to the header pins down there. So when you're using the logic analyzer, it just snaps right on top of that. The LCR module. Now I have not powered this up and played with this yet. I have also not powered up or played with the LCR module. I'll most likely do separate review videos on these. From what I've read, everybody that I've seen that's written something up on the LCR modules, they've been impressed with them. You can do some impressive measurements with this. But it comes with the Kelvin clip clamps, 3 BNC cables to the Kelvin clip clamps. I'll get it out. Too many K's there. And 3 SMA cables. And then this just connects to the Red Pitaya module down there, and then this 1 cable would plug into the module there. Other stuff, let's see, there are the only other things that aren't, well, actually, this BNC cable is not included. That's my BNC cable. I was just using to feed the output to the input. Let me just actually take that off, because I want to show that they did include with the kit. So the kit includes 2 SMA to BNC adapters, and they're not here on the bench. I actually just put them away with all my other SMA adapters that I have a gazillion of. But it also included 2 SMA terminations and 2 SMA T fittings. So, if you were needed to terminate into 50 ohms, you could stick a T in there, put the 50 ohm termination on it, and then still run your line out. But, so other things, it's not going to hurt to have, stuff like BNC cable. Like I say, it doesn't come with them. Never hurts, because trust me, if you're going to do electronics for a living or as a serious hobby, eventually you're going to be needing some BNC cables. But like I say, I'll cover all that later. The website, last thing, I don't want to make this video too long. The website. Wasn't sure if I was going to use something like Moodle or Google has a training platform. They're all just too fancy. It's just too complicated on my end, trying to get them set up. And then for you, it's just, I don't want a fancy, flashy website. It needs to be simple. You go there, you can download files, schematics, whatever it might be. And other than that, the only other thing it really needs, two other requirements is it's going to need a forum. So, a community forum, so you can make up an account, go in there and chat with each other. It's going to be a no BS forum. Probably over time, I'll pick a few people if they're willing to volunteer as like forum monitors and whatnot. But it's not going to be political. I don't want a bunch of opinions on there. It's going to be about, the only thing that forum's going to be for is electronics related. Now, feel free to ask any question you want as long as it's electronics related. I don't care if you're talking about light bulbs or sending a rocket to the moon. At what level the technology you're going to be asking questions. But yeah, this is not going to be a BS web forum. Just keep it on topic on electronics. And then the main reason I need a site is I don't need to, but I think it's the best way for people to learn is testing. Now, I know people, oh God, not test. You don't have to do it honestly if you don't want to. Remember, this is on YouTube. You're not paying anything to take this course. It's free. So if you don't want to take the test, feel free not to. But it will probably be better if you do. They give tests when you go to school for everything, from home economics to, machine shop to electronics. When I took it in Votech, math, science, doesn't matter. Everything. Testing is there to test your proficiency. So as you go through this course, you complete because one of the first ones is going to be actually nothing to do with electronics. It's just going to be math, because yes, there is a lot of math in this. And I'll cover that actually a little bit more here in just a second. That's one other thing you should get. But, when we cover exponents and powers of 10 and prefixes and whatnot with mathematics, there'll be a little test. So you watch the YouTube video, then you go to my website. You'll log in, so your username and password for the forum is going to be the same as we go if you want to take the test. And you'll start off with test number 1, and you go through. If you pass the test, haven't decided, I don't even know what's a normal passing score, like 70% or something like that usually. As long as you get 70% of them right, you can then move on to the next test. Now, it's not going to limit you. If you want to go watch the rest of the videos and follow along and do the hands-on, without taking the test, you don't have to, but it'll just be there to help you. So if you pass the test, then you can feel confident that you've learned the portion that I just taught. If you didn't pass the test, you should probably go back and review it. You didn't. There's something you missed there. So now I was going to. How am I going to do the website? It's been well over 10 years. God, I don't know how many years ago that was. I had a website. So, I knew how to do FTP servers and all of that at one point in time. Basics, don't get me wrong. I wasn't a web designer. But I did design that one website I had. And it worked fine. Like I say, it was basic, simple, non-flashy. Don't want anything, attention-getting. But, yeah, things have gone a long way, and honestly, I don't know how to set up that multiple choice testing scenario. So I was actually in town dropping packages off one day at my local copy printers. They do everything from custom printed ink pens to t-shirts to graphics design and copy center, shipping center. They do it all. Great group of girls in there, and woman-owned business. And I was in there, and I was just getting ready to walk out the door, grab my drop ticket from showing the dropping off the packages, and I looked at Grace. I was like, "You do websites here, don't you?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm actually the one that does the websites." So I actually have a local business, and it's one of those, I scratch their back, they scratch mine. When they break equipment in there, like their hole punches, their hydraulic hole punches, paper shears and stuff like that, I'll go in and fix stuff for them, and they do freebies for me occasionally. So, but so she's going to work on that, getting a website together for me. Basically, she's just making the basic footprint, and then I can go in and add pages to it as is needed. One other thing quickly before we go here, the only other thing I know that I'm going to, it's not required, but it's going to be highly recommended to have for this course, is specifically this model calculator. Now, I have well over 100 scientific calculators. Again, it's electronics. Most of them are old. They're collectibles. That's why I have them. Now, is this the best scientific calculator on the planet? No. Is it probably one of the cheapest? Yes. But it's cheap, but it's a Texas Instruments. Now, personally, I've, like, in arm's reach here, I've got, what, four of them. This is the one I use the most, a Casio. The only thing I don't like about this one that this one has is the exponent. So the exponent is like if you see a formula where it'll have 1 times 10 to the minus 12th. That minus 12th, or 6, or whatever the exponent might be, that's your exponent. With this calculator, if I want to do 10 to the 12th, I would just hit 10, and it has a dedicated key for the exponent. So the only thing I don't like about this calculator is, like almost all Texas Instruments calculators, the exponent is in the second, it's a secondary function down there, so you have to hit second to get to the exponent. Only thing I don't like about it. Other than that, it does everything we need. It does scientific and engineering notation, so it has, basically all the fancy little features we're going to need. There is a lot of math in electronics. A lot of math. Absolutely everything you do in this course is going to involve math, and a boatload of it. But if you buy a calculator like this, you don't need to fully understand. You'll pick up a lot of this stuff over time as you use it. But as long as you can look at the formula, see the letter, and know that, okay, the R is resistance, I just need to input that value from resistor R1 into the formula. And you can punch it into this calculator, and that's why I'm going to recommend this calculator. Easily, readily available. Buy them on eBay, Amazon. You get these, at least locally, at Staples. So, stationary stores have these things. And they're cheap. I think on eBay they're like $15 or $16 shipped with free shipping. So, I mean, God, they're almost giving these things away. Multi-power battery or solar cell. But like I say, it does all the basic math functions we're going to need for this course, and then a lot and more. But if you get one of these, the advantage of having one of these. Now, if you know how to use a scientific calculator, if you already have a scientific calculator, you do not need to buy this. As long as you know how to use the functions in the calculator you already have, you're fine. If you've never used a scientific calculator before, I'm going to recommend you buy this one because this is the calculator I'm going to be using in the course. Specifically because I'm recommending it because it's cheap and easy to get. That way, if you don't know how to use it, you'll be able to literally watch me punching buttons on this calculator, and I'll be able to teach you how to use specifically this calculator. So, recommended. It's a Texas Instruments. God, the reflection there. TI-30X. Roman numeral 2S. But yeah, they're cheap. And these come in other versions. You can get fancier versions, all the way up to like the platinum version, which that one's like around $100, I think. But this really basic one is like $15 delivered to your door. So yeah, this, if you want to take the course, you want to do the hands-on part, lots of math, this will greatly simplify it. It's going to make your life a whole, because trust me, engineers use calculators all the time. I've got scientific calculators floating around all over the place here because I'm using them all the time to do advanced math. Can't do it in my head. I'm good with math, but I'm not that good. I can't do, 12 decimal places in either direction and advanced multiplication functions and sine or cosines and logarithms with in my head. I need a calculator to do that stuff. So there you go. That's basically it. Red Pitaya, I'm going to say, is a definite thumbs up. It does everything you need. Like I say, this basic oscilloscope, basic signal generator, and yes, it does more than just sine waves. It does square waves and ramps and triangle waveforms and stuff like that. Has the spectrum analyzer, added bonus. We could probably use that in the RF course farther in the future. And if you get any of the more advanced options for it, that's on you if you want to invest that money. But the basic one will work. Now, like I say, again, you don't have to have that. If you want to go out and buy any type of oscilloscope, a digital one, or, an old CRT scope, or if you already have that kind of equipment, that's fine, but don't expect me to tell you how to. If you run out and buy something like that, or, any scope or anything else, don't expect me, if you don't know how to use it, don't expect me to tell you how to use it, because menus, especially in digital scopes, can be vastly different from scope to scope, how they work. So, don't expect to, you're going to run out and buy a used Textronics or an HP or an Agilent or a Rigel or Handtech or whoever's scope or whatever piece of test equipment it might be, and expect me to tell you how to use it. If I don't have one here to use for starters, I'm not going to know how to use it, because I'd need to play with it first. So, that's the advantage of, for people that don't know how to use any test equipment, is if you get one of these, I'm going to use this one in the course. So you'll be able to see me using it, how to set it up and how to attach it in circuit. So for the uninitiated in test equipment, if you get one of those, you'll be able to use it and just follow my lead throughout the course. So there you go, update, and a few more things about equipment. Red Pitaya showed up, good to go. Website's on the way. Hopefully, maybe Grace get back with me this week about, and then I can actually start getting stuff uploaded to that. And then I'll need to, of course, start getting videos uploaded onto YouTube, and we'll get this thing up and running. It's taken a lot longer than I thought, folks. I'm sorry about that. I think I'd originally said in a month or two, yeah, this has turned out to be for one person to do and still try to make half a living working on radios. It has turned into a nightmare of just the technicalities of trying to come up with a training course and everything. It's a lot more than I expected. So, but I'm going to do it. I said I was, and I am going to. It's just taking me. And once I get started with the course, things should progress a lot faster. And if you don't like the way I do the first couple of videos, you got to remember, it's going to be a learning process for me. Teaching online through a recorded video course. So I'm going to have to learn myself as I go. Because I'll create the videos, and I'm going to watch my own videos too, and I'll need to watch myself and see if I need to change the way that I'm teaching. But, if in the first couple of videos, like, oh, man, Mike, you could do better here, just give it a little bit of time. I'm going to need to learn myself. I'm doing the best I can. I'm going to do, put as much heart and soul into this as I can and try to make it a good, usable course for people. But, again, it's a learning experience, me teaching, trying to set this up through YouTube with, no personal interaction face-to-face. It's kind of a juggling act of trying how to implement that. But so there you go. There's just another update. You can see things are in the works. So you shall hear from me again soon, hopefully.